Hi everyone, welcome back to your very own EL Mastery, wherein I pick up some of the most important, some of the most difficult previously asked questions in the PTE examination, pick them up for you, crush them into breathable information so that you can make the most out of your examination. So today I will be discussing one such exercise wherein students tend to waste the most amount of time, and I will tell you why or why not you should waste time on that exercise, and if you should, then how much is more, or how much is the maximum amount of time you should give to this exercise. And well, without much ado, the exercise is indeed reorder the paragraphs. Now, the reason a lot of students find this exercise really difficult, or they end up spending a lot of time on this exercise, is because of the selection of the very first sentence. So before I get started, the three ways, or like three criteria by which I want to address this exercise. The first one is what to expect in the examination. The second one obviously is how to attempt the question in the examination, and the third one is how the scoring or how the marking for this exercise works. All right, so well, the first one obviously is what to expect in the examination. So as you can see in the screen in front of you, there are 5 options, and the ones that I've chosen right now is a particularly easy example just for the sake of this example, so that you can have a better understanding of what I'm saying. You can see that there are 5 single sentences, although in the exam you might get complex sentences such as maybe 2 or 3 sentences separated by a full stop in just one point, and then you have to connect them. More times than not, you only get 5 options, and they're obviously rearranged or they have been scrambled, and what you have to do is look at these sentences of these 5 and pick up one sentence that's the theme sentence or the main sentence, which you feel is the correct sentence, or the first sentence rather, and from there on connect the dots, join the dots, connect the story, and follow it all up to the last option or the last sentence. So now, for how to attempt this sentence, the strategy that I want you to adapt is always look for a theme or a key sentence or the starting sentence or the first sentence of a story. And how to do that, you ask? Well, let's look at these 5 options that we have in front of us. The first one says, it is mainly due to the quality of the fabric. That's it. I don't need to read it any further to know that this can't be the first sentence, because it starts with it is mainly due to, which means it is a reason or it is an explanation to something. But what is it an explanation to? What are they even trying to say or comprehend in this case? Let's read the next one. Traditionally, they are navy blue, and they are a lot of days, a lot of pronouns in this case. So we easily know that this can't be the starting sentence either, because it's not giving away enough information for what the rest of the sentences would be like. Third one, fishermen's knitted jerseys have always been recognizable in Britain by their color and their shape. Okay, this is a good prospect, so this could actually be the first sentence. So I'm just going to sideline this. The next one, the continuing popularity cannot just be put down to the fondness for, okay, again, too many pronouns in this case. This cannot really be the first sentence, although it's a better option than the first 2 that we've read, but I still wouldn't go with it because it starts with this. The last one, these navy jerseys, again, I don't need to read it any further. It starts with the pronoun as well, these. So I'm pretty convinced that the first sentence is indeed the third one. After this, what I need to do is I need to look at the last few words of the third sentence where it says Britain by their color and their shape. And now I know that they're trying to talk about something that has color and shape both. So I'll look at the other sentences in front of me. And now for color and shape, I'll look at the second sentence where it says traditionally they're navy blue and basically square in shape. In a way, the next sentence is a continuation of the previous sentence. It's like a whole story. It's like a whole paragraph. So it's very easy for me to say that, 2 comes after 3 in this case. So the correct order starts with 3 and then 2. So now that I have both 3 and 2, I'll look at the last few words of the second point. Without a curved armhole or inset sleeve. All right, so what could be next? So what are they talking about here? So it's pretty straightforward that from the third and second point, we see that they're talking about jerseys. So the next point also would be something to do with jerseys. Okay, so let's look at the 5th point then. These navy jerseys are familiar sight on quay or harbor in the land. On any quay or harbor rather in the land. There you go. So I'm pretty convinced now that the order should be 3, 2, and 5 because it's continuing in a story like it normally would have. And what does the 5th sentence end in now? It says quay and harbor in the land. After that comes, okay, so but before that, before even quay or harbor in the land, the line says, are still familiar sight. What's another word for familiar? Popularity or being popular. So you go to the 4th point. This containing popularity cannot just be put down to a fondness for tradition. There we go. You have the 4th point now. So this containing popularity cannot just be put down for fondness or tradition, and then you're just left with one option, which obviously is the one that comes in the end. That's option 1. It is mainly due to the quality of fabric, which effectively resists salt, water, direct sunshine, and cold winds. Well, this was a pretty easy example, to be very honest, like I had initially said, because these are simple sentences, not complex sentences. And it was really easy for us to pick the first sentence up. That's the third one, fishermen's knitted jerseys. But what is it about this sentence that makes it unique, makes it special, makes us say that, you know what, this is a theme sentence? One thing you need to know is when you're looking for the first or the key sentence or the theme sentence, always look for the SVO. That's the subject, verb, and then the object. In this case, the subject is fishermen's knitted jerseys. So this whole is just one thing, fishermen knitted jerseys, and that's the subject. And then verb. What's a verb? Verb is an action word. Verb is a sign of something that's happening. So have always been recognizable, which means they're being recognized. They've always been recognizable. So that is the verb in this case. And lastly, in Britain by the color and their shape, that's the object, SVO. Always look for the subject, verb, and object, this correct format in the starting sentence. Although, be aware of the fact that there might be examples wherein one or more sentences will have the subject, verb, object format, all of them written in active voices. So this is not a technique that you can entirely, completely rely on. Although this is a good example, especially if you're stuck with 2 points and you don't know which one to choose, that's when you go back to the SVO strategy. Inversely, if there are 2 sentences where the SVO strategy applies, you have to then read the rest of the sentences and see which story makes more sense. Try connecting the last few words with the first few words of the other sentences. But again, don't spend more than 90 seconds on this one. Because what happens is a lot of students, they get 2 or 3 right. Then for the last 1 or 2, they end up spending minutes, not even seconds, but minutes on just 2 options. And if they get it wrong, well, they don't get negative marking. That's maybe a good thing, but they still lose marks and they lose time, valuable time, the time in the reading section that can actually be used in different exercises and where you can actually score a lot better. But well, we've discussed this one, and this was an easy example again, I'd say that. So let's do a slightly more challenging example, shall we? All right, so we did one example so far for the rearrange the paragraph exercise. If you got that right, well done. If not, that's not a problem, you're getting there. So let's just do another example, this time a bit more complex. So now we can see 5 different points, and the first one is, and while some mammal birds, no, I don't think that could be the first sentence. It starts with an and. Along with them went fierce, again, it starts with along with them went. That pretty much gives it away. The third one is in total. This mass extension event, now if it's saying this mass extension, it's surely referring to something else. It can't be the starting sentence. Abundant fossil bones, teeth, trackways, and other hard evidence have revealed that the earth was the domain. Okay, yep, this could be a starting sentence because it starts with the right word. It sounds like a theme sentence, and it feels like it's giving something away. It's giving away what the rest of the passage is going to be about. The fifth sentence, but so far, no. Again, you can straight away give it away that no, it starts with the but, it can't be the first sentence. Alright, now that we've read this much, we can easily see what the first sentence is, and that is the sentence number 4. But this is not it. All the other sentences, they start with words like and, along, in total, but so far. So even though finding the first sentence in this case was easy, the rest of the exercise is going to require a lot more attention. And well, I want you to do this one on your own. I'm giving you the first one away. You have 90 seconds and let's see what you can come up with. And if you do feel like you need some more time, that's completely fine. Just pause the video before the 90 seconds end and you can resume it from there on. Alright, so how did it go? Were you able to finish it in 90 seconds or did you need some more time? Regardless, let's just see what we have in front of us then. So the first sentence as discussed was indeed abundant fossil bones. The next one is but so far not a single trace of dinosaur remains has been found. Now if you read the last few sentences of the first one, they're talking about the domain of the dinosaurs for at least 230 years. And even before that, they say that hard evidence has revealed or have revealed that Earth. The next line is pretty much a continuation of that one, but so far, not a single trace of dinosaur remains has been found in rocks younger than about 66 million years. Now, if you read the last few lines of that it seems that all non-avian dinosaurs suddenly ceased to exist, what do you think could be the next one? Well, if you got the line along with them went some fearsome marine reptiles, you're absolutely correct, because that is indeed the continuation of the passage, and that is the third point as well. Now let's see how that ends. Ancient forests seem to have flamed out across much of the planet. Okay, there's a full stop there. What could it be then? Could it be and while some mammals, or could it be in total? Well, obviously the most logical option is indeed and while some mammals, birds, small reptiles, fish, and that is also the correct option. So the correct option is and while some mammals, and lastly the one that's left, in total this mass extinction event claimed 3/4 of life on Earth, which is also the conclusion of the passage that we just read. So even if you read the whole thing before, you could pretty much make out from the last sentence, in total this mass extinction, to be the conclusion of the passage. So the first and the last were pretty much given away right away. So now to explain the marking of this exercise, let's go back to the first example. For example, the correct sequence in that one was 3, 2, 5, 4, and 1. Now, if for someone who's written the same sequence as such, he gets a score of 4 out of 4, because you get marks for the correct pairs. So if you've chosen 4 correct pairs, that's 3, 2, 2, 5, 5, 4, and 4, 1, you get a perfect score of 4 on 4. However, if you ended up giving the answer 3, 2, 5, 1, 4, which is the incorrect answer, you only get 2 out of 4. Reason being, because only 2 of your pairs are correctly placed. That's 3 to 2 and 2 to 5. Whereas after 5 should be 4, not 1. So you lose marks for that. And so you get a 2 out of 4 in this one. Should your answer be, let's say, 2, 3, 5, 1, 4? Well, in this case, even though the number 5 has been correctly placed where it should be, you still get a 0 out of 4. Which means, in a way, you've not gotten any score in this exercise. So this is how the marking in this works. There is another school of thought saying that the only way you get marks is if you place the correct option in the correct place. For example, in the last one, where we put the number 5 in the middle. As long as the number 5 is in the middle, you should get 1 out of 5. But no, that's not how this works. You only get marks for the correct pairs. And so this, well, can be of advantage or of disadvantage depending on how you've approached the exercise. But if you follow these tips and tricks and take these advices seriously, and most importantly, look at the time as you doing these exercises and don't exceed the time limit, because you don't want less time for the next exercises, you should be fine. Trust me, if you're not sure about anything, make a guess, because there's no negative marking for this one. But at the same time, try using these tips. Always look for the continuation. Always look at the last few words and then the first few words of the next sentence, and you'll never go wrong. Alright, I hope you find this video really helpful. If you do have any more questions or queries, do put them down in the comments below. I read all my comments and I try making more and more videos in this workshop so that I can address as many issues, as many queries as I can. And so, well, if you find this video really helpful, please click on the like button for me. Also subscribe to my channel. I do regular updates, and let me know what you think. All right, have a good one.